still fighting over the election in court. But I'll tell you what, the Donald Trump's legal team seems pretty confident that they will get a win in Pennsylvania. Because things are so fucked up over there, it's unreal. They even had a judge stop the certification of the election for an investigation where the Trump team to show evidence of fraud. Remember, we also have voter fraud and election fraud. And there's a difference. Voter fraud is what it is. Voters committing fraud or letting votes be defrauded by individuals. Now we have election fraud, which is system-wide. Now, we got to know what the legal reason was for these 5 or 7 jurisdictions to stop counting ballots at the same time for 2 to 3 hours. And when they resumed counting, how come the voting totals were so altered? And why Donald Trump was missing 20,000 votes in one area, but Joe Biden gained 20,000 votes in another area. There's questions that need to be answered. And I think when they get answered, we're going to find out a lot of people tried to steal this election. And more importantly than the rightful person getting into office that really deserves it, which should be Donald Trump by the way people were voting, is justice needs to be served. These people need to be branch and root, ripped out of government, tried and convicted if guilty, and given harsh maximum sentences. Examples need to be made that you cannot do these things and be successful. Once we let this go, if Joe Biden wins, knowing that there was unlitigated fraud, we are a banana republic. We're never going to see a fair election again. We're never going to see our liberties again. And you're going to suffer. We're all going to suffer. You want to be Venezuela? We're on our way there now. Just start calling ourselves Amerisuela. You can be like Cuba, North Korea, China. Pick one. You want to be like that? Let this election fraud go unanswered, go unpunished. And let the true person that deserves to win this election go without their victory. Be a travesty. You hear even the Democrats now, they're fighting over what Joe Biden's going to do. The hardcore leftists they're demanding their hardcore leftist unconstitutional ideas be presented as law. With the Green New Deal and nationalizing industries, getting rid of fossil fuels. Stuff that is on its face ridiculous. First of all, it ought to be noted that anything that forces another person to have to act is not a right for another person. That's why health care is not a right, because it forces another person to have to treat the person that's demanding this right. Now, how is that a right to the person that's a doctor? You should never be able to force a person into servitude like that. If a doctor doesn't want to treat person A, they shouldn't have to. It's not by some law that says he's entitled to be treated. No, it's not how this country works. You have a right to seek a doctor. You don't have a right to one. Things like that. Ridiculous. They want to take us out of our cars. They want to force people into the cities. You watch, they're going to start funneling people out of the suburbs one way or the other. That's why they want that further fair, I don't even remember what the shit was, further fucking fair housing, whatever it is, where they want to send poor people into the suburbs. Why? Because it'll make the suburbs like urban areas. Because if you have a group of taxpayers that are paying for services within their jurisdiction, then all of a sudden a bunch of people show up in that area that don't pay taxes that you have to support with education, sewer, whatever the city has to offer, parks and recreation, government services. Now you have to thin out what you have or charge the taxpayers more to cover the people that aren't paying anything. That's why this is, it's not good. And anybody that tells you they're racist because you don't believe in it, it has nothing to do with race. Any race that can afford to live in an area is more than allowed to do so. What's not racist is saying, here's some people we're just going to stick in your community. Good luck paying for them. That's now Joe Biden is going to govern. He's going to do that further affirming fair housing, whatever the hell it's called, and he's going to fuck over the middle class. Says he's not raising taxes, but he said he's going to get rid of the Donald Trump tax cuts. Well, my income tax, my federal income tax obligation went down from like 28% down to 23%. So I lost almost 5% of taxes I have to pay in that tax cut. He eliminates that, my taxes go back up 5%. So don't tell me this bullshit. He's not raising taxes on me. Yes, he is. He's full of shit. The man's full of shit. He's a liar. Why do you think he didn't fucking go out and campaign? Why do you think he laid in his basement for 6 months? He knew the fix was in. Man can't fill a gymnasium. Beats a man that puts 30,000 people in an arena and does 10 times the rallies that Biden did? There's no fucking way. There was no fucking silent majority on the left. The left don't know how to shut the fuck up if their life depended on it. So, all the leftists are out there. They didn't amount to a pot of shit. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden's the winner. Now we're seeing how massive the fraud is. And I'll tell you what, like I said, if fucking Biden wins this, we are fucked. And we are a banana republic. So fuck Joe Biden. Fuck those Democrats. Donald Trump, you better get the rightful win. I'm hoping your legal team knows what the fuck they're doing. Have a good whatever. Ask yourselves this. Why are the Democrats fighting so hard not to let the people or Trump's legal team see these ballots or authorize recounts and audits? If they're on the up and up, they should not mind. But they are fighting tooth and nail to keep the Trump legal team from getting their hands on these ballots, getting their hands on these totals, and finding out any information of what went on with these jurisdictions. So, people with nothing to hide have nothing to fear. So when you see the fear, there's something hiding. There's something there. Let's hope we find it.
President.
I'm Joe Biden.